He still made the majority of the money, but I was still making $10,000, so I was cool with that, right? And we were rocking like that for years. So some time had passed. It was, I don't know, about 6, 7, 8 months since our last interview. So I just hit him up one day, a couple of weeks ago, and we had a conversation. And this conversation was a private business conversation, but Boosie recently did a live where he revealed parts of this conversation. And in his live, he said that he had asked for $5,000 more, and I said no, which is why he's not going to do the interview.
I wanted $5,000 more than he wanted to pay me. He didn't want to pay me, so I think I'm gonna make more money doing it this way.
Check out this clip, man. That boy DJ Vlad just exposed Boosie for trying to cap on him this whole time. He said that Boosie was not getting offered $5,000 or Boosie wasn't trying to get $5,000 more. But instead, this is what really happened. Y'all watch the clip all the way to the end. Let me know what y'all think. Is Vlad wrong or is Boosie wrong for trying to trick us?
Originally, I wasn't paying him to do interviews. But over time, as the views kept going up, and people were really gravitating towards these interviews, we started working out appearance fees. And the fees slowly went up. And over the last couple of years, the fee that we actually stuck at was around was $25,000 per interview. Mm. And that price was justified because Boosie was pulling in like 6 million views for every interview. And in that particular situation, and I showed Boosie all the numbers and all my back-end numbers and so forth. When he was getting around 5.5 million views, I would make around $35,000 off that interview and he would make $25,000, right? So I had a $10,000 profit margin. He still made the majority of the money, but I was still making $10,000, so I was cool with that, right? And we were rocking like that for years. So some time had passed. It was, I don't know, about 6, 7, 8 months since our last interview. So I just hit him up one day, a couple of weeks ago, and we had a conversation. And this conversation was a private business conversation, but Boosie recently did a live where he revealed parts of this conversation. And in his live, he said that he had asked for $5,000 more, and I said no, which is why he's not going to do the interview.
I wanted $5,000 more than he wanted to pay me. He didn't want to pay me, so I think I'm gonna make more money doing it this way. And I'm editing my interview now.
Now, that's not exactly accurate. So, I wasn't gonna put any of this out there, but because he started putting out numbers out there and people started going, oh, Vlad being cheap, why is it only $5,000? You could pay him that, not knowing the whole picture. So I'm gonna lay out the whole picture for everyone just to explain what exactly is going on. So when I called Boosie, like I said, the fee had always been $25,000. He said, I want $40,000. And I'm like, fam, I can't do $40,000. That's just putting me in the hole in a situation like this. He's like, well, I'll go as low as 35. And I'm like, man, listen, I might be able to do 30 after I run the numbers, but 35 is definitely out of the question. But let me go ahead and run my numbers and actually see what's going on. So I went back and I looked through the last, 5 or 6 interviews, and I looked, and the profit margin on each of these interviews was around $10,000. So I showed him the numbers. I sent him a spreadsheet showing him my back-end numbers, and I'm like, bro, the most I could do is 25. You're asking for 35. Your traffic has been dipping over the years. You've gone from about 6 million to about 5.5 to about 5 and some change. So you're looking at about maybe a 10, 15% decrease in views, which means a 10 to 15% decrease in revenue, as you know, but you're asking for a 40% increase in appearance fee, a 40% increase. It doesn't make any business sense because what'll end up happening is, look, Boosie's already at home, right? He wakes up, he does the interview. There's no cost associated with him, and he was getting paid $25,000. I have to fly because I don't have a studio or a camera crew in Georgia, in Atlanta, so I have to hire a camera crew in Atlanta. I have to fly from LA to Atlanta. I have to get a hotel. I have to have all the costs associated with it. And then afterwards, I have to pay to get the video edited and pay my crew and everything else like that. And as you know, with YouTube, I'm taking all the risk because sometimes videos get demonetized, right? Especially when you talk about someone like a Boosie who has, you know, he swears, he's talking about a lot of edgy stuff. And at the end of the day, I'm taking 100% of the risk. So I'm like, listen, I cannot pay you $35,000 when I'm gonna make nothing. Or maybe I'm even gonna take a loss. And Boosie was like, yo, you're being cheap. And I said, I'm not being cheap. I'm being put in a situation where you make all the money and I make none of the money. It simply doesn't make any business sense.
Really fucking do that every fucking time, nigga. Big Guappo. Let's talk about life. I ain't talking about this, I ain't talking about that. I'm trying to get right. No, I come from the bottom, but a nigga like me trying to see new heights. I don't care if people say that shit made up. Whole time it's just hype. Y'all keep y'all stories. Remember them days they thought they could write my life. I got on my shit, I ain't playing no games. I'ma change my life. I'ma do what I want, it's my life. When they show fake love, I don't like it. Nowadays that shit advertising shit, I chase it and shit I like. Know you heard it, I got hands, but a nigga like me now, I ain't trying to